Hey everybody, this is Talkative Carl back again for another versus discussion. And something I always wanted to know the answer to this question. So maybe once I go over this, from like their bios and try to form like a logical decision, not based on any kind of bias, who will win in a fight between like the actual Hydra agents versus the League of Assassins and slash Shadows if you're more of the movie version. Uh, uh, man, both of them had very good infiltration skills because you never know who was a Hydra agent to the last moment, or you know, uh, um, equally as like you never knew who was like a league member because both organizations have been around. Well, for Hydra, it felt like more millennia, and it's relatively unknown when the league started. It's just like after you know uh, Ra's al Ghul took the name of the Demon Head or the Demon's Head, and just like soon after that, the league was a thing because it was never a concrete date of when or timeline when the League of Assassins was formed, but it's just they just certain point started after like Ra's al Ghul became like started doing his thing way back in like the olden times. But once I go with like very like roughly briefly between these two, I'll try to see if I can form a decision. Okay, Hydra. They have a little oath here. Their version of like a Green Lantern's kind of oath. Hail Hydra, immortal Hydra, we shall never be destroyed. Cut off one head, two more shall take its place. We serve none but the Master, as the world shall soon serve us. Hail Hydra. And they both have like their, old, like their main overall goals, but it's vastly different between the way they go about trying to, take over. Hydra wants to usurp all the governments until the point of their own leaders are the only ones, which is usually the Red Skull or Ben von Strucker, being like the main helm of world domination, while uh, on the League of Assassins, their overall goal is, demolishing whoever governments or like just completely genocide period to just reshape it from the ground up to wherever Ra's al Ghul's lacking to be, as far as like as like Liam Neeson said, mankind was not meant to be like this. Like we sacked Rome, burned London to the ground. Just once mankind reaches its pinnacle of decadence, we come back to rebalance everything. So it's like one tears things down to build them up, while the other just overall takes over. So I want to see like those two just go head to head. So yeah, Hydra is an organization that has been around for several millennia. Uh, uh, the organization in some incarnation has existed in civilizations, has varied in like pharaonic Egypt and imperial China, and and of course Nazi Germany and the United States soon after. Uh, uh, of course, it's like their symbol of the Hydra, even though it looks like an octopus, is supposed to be representing the Greek mythological creature Hydra that always reforms its heads if one ends up getting cut off. In the pre-human time, a cabal of cold-blooded alien reptiles arrived on Earth, planning to start a legacy of evil. They planted the seed that would later give birth to future evil empires. In 2620 BC, the Brood attacked Egypt and killed, not even going to attempt this name, but a pharaoh, ending the second great dynasty. Imhotep led a coalition of warriors, including Ensambanur, aka Apocalypse, and the Moon Knight, and annihilated the aliens. Imhotep's shield remained in the west, leading to the formation of the Brotherhood of the Shield. His spear went to the east, where it resided. The earliest origins of Hydra date back to the third dynasty of Egypt, as far as modern records, to be as far as like the Marvel universe. They spread out, they sprouted in 114 AD in the Han Dynasty. 18th century Renaissance, references to the organization at that point has ceased to appear. So they had like a little respite after that moment. Then they came back in World War II, and that's where the modern, quote unquote modern, take on Hydra, as we knew it to be, sprang from there. So of course, like eventually Red Skull took over. He's one of the more prominent leaders of Hydra. From moments moving forward, especially after the defeat of Nazi Germany by the Allied forces, Hydra began even though they had like a huge major defeat, they started slowly infiltrating certain governments, like the U.S. government, and more specifically SHIELD, who for the most part has been like the main opposing force to deal with Hydra. It's kind of like the movies and like the Winter Soldier, where and then the Agents of SHIELD, Hydra has been infiltrating everything since their defeat back in World War II, and it's been waiting to come up. It's usually like the long con kind of sleeper agents for the most part. They always been like a main villain for either like Captain America specifically or SHIELD specifically, or just pretty much any kind of like spy organization in Marvel usually have to deal with Hydra one way or the other. The recent battle against Hydra is when the Red Skull took the Cosmic Cube and it forced in some kind of little girl. He convinced her to change Captain America's his history, warped his history to where he's always been a one of Hydra's inside man, instead of always being Captain America. They changed his history. It was like a bad event. It was like a hugely bad event. It was one of the worst events in my mind. I think a lot of people agree. It was funny how like in the movies, in Avengers Endgame, he did it. When Steve Rogers did that, Hell Hydra, and it's like, okay, it was a nice little nod to part of one of the worst Marvel events in history. Because in one of the panels, Captain America actually said Hell Hydra, and it was ironic when he went head to head with Red Skull again. It's like, and I think Red Skull mentions like, even when he's fighting for our team, he still wants to oppose me and fight me. It's like, and he's doing a better job at this than even me. which is more infuriating. And I thought that was like no matter what, Captain America always will more than likely win on top until the girl, retroactively, try to bring Captain America back, saying like, oh, he went to the realm of lost heroes. She brought him back. We got our Captain America back. He beat, Hydra Cap, uh, and then we haven't heard from that Hydra Cap ever since. They just pretty much kind of like written him off because it was just that terrible. But so yeah, Hydra's always been a thing. As far as like its members, like I said, they've been infiltrating a lot of government officials. They have a lot of very powerful members, all within their, all have their own specific abilities or skill sets that makes them very dangerous within their own right. They have various supreme leaders. They got formerly Hydra Cap, Red Skull, Viper, Arnold Brown, Baron Wolfgang von Strucker, Del Tite, Freehold Invader, Supreme Hydra, Edgar Lascombe, out of Vermis. I'm not going to go. Oh, Richard Fisk for a moment. Silvermane, for Madam Hydras. They have Alicia Sinclair, Contessa Valentina Allegra de la Fontaine, who you would have seen in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier TV show and the end of Black Widow. Madam Hydra 6 and Viper. High Council, we got Arnim Zola, Hive, Viper again, Baron Helmut Zemo, Von Strucker, Valentina. Yeah. Other former members, you got Zobri Man, the more lower level, kind of like, I want to say henchmen, but it's kind of like those guys you send off to lead your henchmen on the ground. You got Zobri Man, Agent U, Agent 47, Batroc the Leaper, Blackwing, Bob from Deadpool, Chameleon, Crossbones. It's a lot here. I'm trying to go through the ones that you'll probably recognize because there's a lot. Madam Hydra 6, Mentallo, not to be confused with Metallo. This is Mentallo. I think he's like a X-Men villain. Spider-Woman Jessica Drew, Silver Fox, Cyborg, Cassandra Romulus, Violence, Knockabout, Eric Stoltz. Weird. But yeah, So that's pretty much like a lot of who were leaders or members or just members of Hydra, all of which are each one of them of these people are very skilled in their fighting capability, strategy, powers. You got a Zorba who can absorb materials of anything he touches, like wood, or at least elements, I should say. Wood, water, fire, magma, stone, metal. even the animanium at some point, backtrack leaper, and just a very skilled fighter in in his own right. He went toe to toe with Captain America plenty of times. Viper, same thing, very skilled fighter, one of the very deadliest fighters in Marvel Comics. Always went head to head with Black Widow from time to time. Show you how skilled she is. Red Skull, I don't see him much more like a fighter, but let's go over like his kind of like powers. Like he's a master political, military, and subversive strategy, brilliant planner, organizer. He's a fine hand-to-hand combatant, although not to the level of Captain America. He's a brilliant fencer, skilled marksman. His weakness is like his left hand was severed in the first confrontation with Unity Division, and he currently uses like a modern prosthetic. So yeah, and Hydra, I mean, aside from the certain members with their fair share of superpowers, that we're not including this, we're including the actual soldiers. The soldiers themselves, have like come from various different governments around the world that they secretly kind of like infiltrated. So it's like some Shield members, if like impressive hand-to-hand fighting, is like down to the level of like Captain America, but just fall short from like they can probably fight. Like some of them can probably fight, to be fair, if not even to the level of maybe like on a level maybe like Backtrack the Leaper. I'm about to say Taskmaster, but no, Taskmaster is way more better than anything Backtrack the Leaper. So I want to say like they all have been like adept at fighting in various ways from whatever training they got from these different organizations that they infiltrated for Hydra, and they brought it into the fold. So and they got different skill in probably various guns. They have like a lot of tanks. A lot of military hardware. Like some even have like robotic like weaponry. They can send out. So they can easily fight as like straight up like an army, pretty much. So and now we have the League of Assassins. A secret organization founded by Ra's al Ghul or Ra's al Ghul. The exact timeline was never known, but when they actually been a thing as far as like being led, I mean, because even when they was led by Ra's al Ghul, it was shaky, but when they actually was a thing, pretty much maybe like before being led by Ra's al Ghul, it's still unknown. It's like you never know. They probably has been a thing for since I don't know when human beings began like walking. Let's say Arabic times. Let's say like not too long before Ra's al Ghul's time in Arabic nomad lands of pretty sure it was Egypt. So, yeah, Arabia, 600 years ago. So, like, at least, maybe like, let's say minimum 100 years prior to, maybe like 100 to 200 years prior to Ra's al Ghul, and they probably was a thing. probably about as long as the word assassin even was a thing. It was that long, because Essayine was an Egyptian slash Arabic term by people who takes out people uh, in various methods. You know, by that long. Uh, Early history. Ebenezer Dark, aka Dr. Dark, was the first known individual assigned to head the League of Assassins by Ra's al Ghul. Dark himself was seconded by the Sensei, a martial arts master from Hong Kong, although many of the League's leaders over the years have been accomplished martial artists. Dark himself did not depend on physical prowess. As an assassin, he instead relied upon careful planning, manipulating ambushes and death traps, as well as a variety of cleverly concealed weapons and poisons. Although the League apparently had an inner circle of elite fighters, as well as a large number of warriors trained in the martial arts. The League during Dark's tenure as leader reflected his personal mythology. Under Dark's leadership, the League started a large killing spree across Europe, which soon became target of investigation by Interpol. When the pattern was clear, the Interpol warned Gotham City's police commissioner, James Gordon, about the next target of the murder trail as a shipping magnate then located in Gotham. Gordon tried to provide police protection, but when refused, he contacted Batman, who thwarted the killing of the magnate and captured the assassin. It was during this case that Batman first became aware of the League's existence and activities. After the incident, Dark tried to murder the next target personally, but Batman interfered, forcing Dark to retreat, leaving his victim alive. Following a falling out with Ra's, Dark kidnapped Ra's daughter, Talia al Ghul. Batman rescued Talia and finally captured Dark, but when he tried to kill Batman, he was shot and killed by Talia. After Dark's death, Ra's al Ghul took over the organization for a short time and used the assassins to attack Batman in Gotham City, although they ultimately failed as the Dark Knight was assisted by the Creeper against them. Got the Sensei. The Sensei was in command of a small faction of the League, and during this time he arranged an initiation process where the operative known as the Hook was assigned to murder Boston Brand, who would become Deadman after his death. After Dark's death, the Sensei took control of the League after most of its members defected away from Ra's al Ghul's leadership. Under the Sensei's direction, let me put on this light. Let's move this. It's starting getting kind of dark. Dimmy and dark. Under the Sensei direction, the League became more brutal, and although the majority of the League's operatives show little to no real skill in personal combat, the Sensei did show slightly more reliance on skilled martial artists. Shortly after his crowning a leader of the League, Professor Ojo successfully brainwashed Ben Turner, best friends and partner of Richard Dragon, created an alternate personality dubbed the Bronze Tiger, turning the master martial artist into a League operative. As the Bronze Tiger, Turner defeated Batman in personal combat, while another League operative murdered Kathy Kane. Eventually, Turner's training at the hands of the old Sensei proved too strong for the League to fully break. When he refused to kill Batman, Turner was forced to flee the League. Afterwards, small factions of the League started to get captured by Batman after the Sensei went into hiding in Gotham. During this period, the League tried to retrieve a powerful formula that would help them defeat their enemies, but they were stopped by the combined efforts of Batman and Ra's al Ghul. Skip ahead. The creation of Lady Shiva, another strong member. Prior to the betrayals of Dr. Dark and the Sensei, Ra's had grown tired of the fickle loyalties of his warriors. Ra's assigned David Kane to create a perfect bodyguard, the one who is all. After early attempts to raise such a person resulted in hopelessly psychotic children, Kane decided that he needed a genetically suited child and began searching for a possible mother. To this end, he assassinated Carolyn Wusan, one of two astonishingly talented martial artist sisters. he had seen fighting in an exhibition. Carolyn's sister, Sandra, swore revenge and tracked Kane down, only to be subdued by the combined might of the League. Both intoxicated and frightened by the levels of skill she was attaining now that she was no longer holding back for her sister's sake. Sandra agreed to be the mother of Kane's child. In return, the League spared Sandra's life and assisted her in further training. By the time Sandra gave birth, she had surpassed the entire League in skill. She left immediately following the birth of her daughter, Cassandra Kane, rechristening herself Lady Shiva. You got, of course, Nisa Al Ghul, one of the daughters of Ra's al Ghul. She's like half sister to I was blanking on her other name. Talia, half sister Talia, mother was a Russian woman that a long time ago, 19th century, Ra's al Ghul, had like a relationship with for a brief period. Birthed Nisa. She tracked him down, and for a short period, raised and trained her. So, yeah, the League, just like any assassins, especially in like comics, they're pretty much like ninjas, pretty much, who are skilled in all forms of weaponry, stealth, infiltration, all forms of different ways of killing somebody. So, and they don't really use like any kind of military hardware. They just rely on good old fashioned deep martial arts training and like skill with all forms of weapons, but mostly like typical weapons you see ninjas use, like swords, different gases, garrotes, very concealing type of weapons, and not full on guns, unless they get a hold of some type of bigger weapon. So that's the thing. You pretty much got like some form of like an army or soldiers versus very skilled assassins with deep martial arts training, trained by figures that were around for like centuries, that learned from the best or were the originators in the first place, and then taught others. As far as like their members, of course you got Ra's al Ghul, Talia al Ghul, Nisa, all and of course Lady Shiva. All of them are arguably probably as good as someone like Destro and Batman, and that's how deep their skill is. The fact that they can easily go toe to toe with Batman, of all people, one of the best martial artists in all of comics, not even just in DC, but all of comics itself. Because like if you tell people like who's like the best martial artist in comics, they will immediately go to Bruce Wayne. But the members they also had Deathstroke, Dr. Daedalus, Ebenezer Dark, Dr. Zinzin, Lady Shiva, Mad Dog, Merlin, the Sensei, Silver Monkey, the Expedited Hook, Tiger Moth, Bronze Tiger, Tigress, Ubu, Wham Wham. Who the heck is Wham Wham? White Ghost, White Willow, Z, Onyx, David Kane, Damian Al Ghul, Red Talon, Viper. They have their own Viper in this universe. Cassandra Kane, and Bane. So yeah, because like I said before, we're talking about their actual soldiers, not these other well-established, well-known villains with their specific power set. Like these are the foot soldiers we're talking about. which of these foot soldiers will beat the other. And it'll be interesting to see like in a hypothetical fight, which one can infiltrate the other. Cause I'm pretty sure like you know it'd be ironic to have like one of the league's members to be a secret Hydra agent to try to infiltrate and take out Ra's al Ghul, and like a League of Assassins member or members, secretly are part of like a Hydra, goon to try to take out the Red Skull. And it's like, okay, get these two to fight. Uh, let's say like 10 on 10, 10v10. Uh, okay. Which one of these will win out like in this like hypothetical like a smallish skirmish? And these are like no holds barred, and like these two organizations would not hesitate to kill you, and there's no moral qualms or anything like that. This is like, I will take you out. I was trying to do, I will not shy away from it. You're just another meat sack to me. Like you're like each one will see their enemy as lesser than and will not hesitate to take you out. That kind of thing. So which soldier will win? And I mean, even though like Hydra, the whole organization has been around for millennia, a lot of its members has constantly rotating as different members and always recruiting more people. League of Assassins do roughly the same thing, but you'd be surprised how many of them have been around for centuries. Thanks to like, because the one key thing that the League of Assassins has is the Lazarus pits. That's the thing. So there's a good portion of their members who've been around for a long while. Not everybody, mind you, gets to use it, but there's a fair bit who have. There's like just, and some of them, given the fact that at least some of them, like Silver Monkey, has rose up through the ranks from just a common foot soldier to one of like the elite kind of guards type of status, means that some of them get to utilize that pool, and even if some of them didn't, they are getting trained by people who, because like Hydra, they don't have their own, like, I'm pretty sure they do, but it's kind of like they don't have members that's been around for, because the Red Skull has only been around like, well, I don't know, she's like he's born like, let's say he was in his like 30s or 40s during like during World War II. That means by like he was born like 18. Matter of fact, when was the Red Skull born? No. Okay. Johann Smith, the Red Skull. Son of the Chorus, drunken German villager. Okay. And this gives like his like uh, his actual well, I wouldn't expect the actual date of birth, but uh, yeah, there you go. I found it. 1899, which I would expect to be like 1890 something. So he was born like 1899. But he so far as like he didn't, unlike Ra's al Ghul, who trained most of like very prominent league members, who then trained other forces, to be whoever was initiated into the League of Assassins, uh, who learned roughly the same things he has learned for over many centuries. The Red Skull, was like a fair hand-to-hand combatant, but not on the level of Captain America. He was only born in 1899. From that time up to the current status, he hasn't improved any kind of like. I'm pretty sure he trains. I don't know how constantly he trains, but not on the same level of training that Captain America does almost every day. And he doesn't therefore train his other subordinates. He gets other people to train them who are well versed in hand-to-hand fighting skills. But I don't know how that translates to the actual foot soldiers. I'm pretty sure they are adept at hand-to-hand fighting, but none of them ever were able to just easily go toe-to-toe and beat not even Hawkeye, for all people. We're definitely not going to go toe-to-toe with Black Widow or Captain America. I know that. But if they aren't, able to like hold their own against someone like Hawkeye, then I'm kind of leaning towards the League of Assassins being able to easily take out Hydra. Because despite, them having like the military, the League took down a lot of, over the centuries, different governments who have various evolving types of weapons, including modern guns, and it was easily able to take them down. And yeah, and I gotta say, like, I think the League of Assassins would easily beat Hydra, because they are ninjas trained for a long time by people who have been adept at training, in martial arts, various forms, for a very, 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 very long time. And I'm pretty sure they're more better at infiltrating than Hydra does. Even though Hydra is, good at infiltration, it's probably not on the same level as the League of Assassins, especially when it comes to recruiting. And their recruitment is like a lot more rigorous, because Hydra, by and large, will probably just bring anybody who probably shares the same mindset, and just like, just like any kind of like gang. They just like, okay, prove your loyalty by killing this. They both do like that, like prove your loyalty by killing this person. But I think that's where the buck stops there half the time with Hydra. League of Assassins, they need to improve your mental capability, improve your mettle by killing somebody. If you are really, because usually that's the last step. Prove like your worth by killing this person. Just like in like the movie, the Nolan movie, they train Batman in all forms, like combat, stealth, ninjutsu, all this other stuff. And just the last test, just a nail in the coffin, is take out this person, because in their mind's eye, since he stole from his neighbor and then became a murderer, I guess, for killing him at the to get part of that neighbor's land, it's like, well, we're not dealing with judge and jury in this kind of. If you're wrong, you're taken out. There's nothing else need to be discussed, and that will seal the deal as far as like your recruitment into the League of Shadows or Assassins. And uh, usually that's the only thing Hydra will ask you to do, usually. And it's just, yeah, I honestly believe maybe like the League of Assassins will easily beat Hydra. Yeah, yeah, but that's just my take on the subject. But leave a comment below. Let me know what are your thoughts. Like, do you agree with me? You think like the League would easily uh, beat Hydra, or if you disagree and you think Hydra will beat the League, leave a comment below. Let me know if as to why you think that, because I'm curious. Because like, given the information that I have at hand with the DC wiki and the MCU, not MCU, but the Marvel wiki, as far as both of these particular foot soldiers, I honestly, me personally think the League of Assassins would win, given the information at hand. But if I'm wrong, if you believe the other way around, let me know. So yeah, thank you for joining me. I will see you guys next time for more discussion videos. Follow me on my Patreon. That's patreon.com/talkativecarl. If you have ideas for other discussion videos or versus discussions that you want me to talk about, definitely let me know. Follow me on my YouTube channel, of course. Subscribe as youtube.com/talkativecarl. Follow me on my Twitter, same name, talkativecarl. And of course, follow me on my Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/talkativecarl. Whilst you do stream video games, I'm currently streaming Horizon Zero Dawn and Final Fantasy X. And check that out as well. And I also do a lot of TV show reviews. I'm currently going to be posting Jackie Chan Adventures Season 4, and pretty soon I'll be wrapping that series up, the final season of 5, and the final season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters Season 5, before I move on to Yu-Gi-Oh! GX and another TV show. I believe I'll be doing One Punch Man next. So I will see you guys soon. Take care and be safe.